monster from my hand, which could be Edamant, which could be Injection Fairy Lily because of the effect. What else could I summon? Possibly Breaker would be another good one. So yeah, or Magical Exemplar, depending on the situation. Those are monsters I could possibly summon. So that's why those cards are in there. Of course, you have Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is a given. Pot of Favorites, the fact that I can return all my monsters from my graveyard and draw 2 cards. Spell Absorption, since this is a spell-based deck where you have to use spell cards and stuff that, why not throw Spell Absorption there? We're going to have a lot of magic cards in here. I might as well have Spell Absorption and get 500 points for every time each spell card is used. And it also benefits my Magical Citadel every time a spell card is used. I get a spell counter. So this is either me or my opponent. Whoever uses a spell card, I get the benefits of that. So now, going back to Magician Circle, the reason why this card is in here is because I have a lot of Spellcaster monsters in this deck, clearly because it's a Spellcaster deck. It allows me to special summon 1 Spellcaster monster with 2,000 or less attack. Now, both players actually, but assuming that my opponent doesn't have a Spellcaster monster, I'm still allowed to special summon my Spellcaster monster, and they're not. If they don't have one, they can't special summon one, of course. So it could be a +1 situation, or it could be a balance, a neutral balance. But if they don't have one, then I get the +1 because I get a monster and they don't. So that's another benefit of a lot of that card. And let me just run down these monsters real quick. Okay, Apprentice Magician is another Spellcaster monster. The reason why he's in there is because I get to place 1 Spellcaster monster on a face-up card. And that card can be you put on Magical Citadel, of course, the field card, which also benefits. And his secondary effect is when I special summon 1 monster. When this is destroyed, I can special summon 1 level 2 or lower Spellcaster monster from my deck, and that monster will usually be maybe Frequency Magician, or probably Frequency Magician would be the most likely choice that will be used for. Blackwing, because he's a tuner monster and he gets the effect of halving the attack. Breaker, I put in there because Breaker is a good Spellcaster monster with 2 good effects. The 300 attack point effect, and then I can remove a spell counter to destroy 1 spell or trap, which is good. Chaos Sorcerer is in here because I have a couple light monsters in my deck. Specifically Defender Magical Knight, Frequency Magician, Herald of the Creation. So if I can get 1 light monster and 1 dark monster in my graveyard, I can special summon the Chaos Sorcerer, which we know can remove a card from play, face-up card from play, which is a benefit. And so those are the monsters. Edion, let me just run down Edamant, excuse me. By removing 6 spell counters from the Magical Citadel field card that I was showing you, I'm able to special summon him, and when I do, I can add 1 spell card from my graveyard. From my graveyard to my hand, and then I get the once per turn discard 1 spell card to destroy 1 card in the field. So he's basically a dark magician with better effects, so I like him. Now, one last thing, the synchros. The synchros that I use to get for this deck are Tempest Magician, because it's a 6-star synchro, and I have a lot of 3-star tuners and 3-star monsters. Well, I have a couple 3-star tuners and 3-star monsters in this deck to help him, and you can read his effect right there. Pretty good effect if you know how to use them, and because he can take away life points without actually having to attack you by removing spell counters, which the spell counters will come from the Magical Citadel if you properly use it right. And then our Arcanite Magician, another spell counter card. He gains 1,000 points for each spell counter on him. You discard a spell counter and you get to destroy 1 card. Pretty beneficial. So that's my deck build. It wasn't really a build, it was more of an explanation of what's in this deck. Next week, I'll run through my I'm going to run through my Power Tool deck. So just to give you a little glimpse of what's in here, I'm going to run through my Power Tool deck, my famous Power Tool deck. And if you have any questions, guys, let me know. It's your boy Retro. Peace.